you, everyone. You may now be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the honorable judges, Madam Magdalene Mook, Technical Officer of today's event, our wonderful teachers, our diligent contestants, and to all of the audience as a whole. Welcome to Sarawak State's Level of Secondary School Public Speaking Competition 2023. First of all, to begin our occasion today, I would like to invite Awang Zizan Safwan bin Awang Mas Morizan to lead the recitation of Doa. Awang Zizan, please.
آمين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. O Allah, we express our gratitude to you for allowing us to attend assembly on this auspicious morning. O Allah, we ask you for the safety of our religion and the welfare of our body. O Allah, Lord of the implementing authority, make the days that we gone through, starting with your mercy, continue with your blessing, and ended with thy forgiveness. And also, make the days that we gone through with guidance and end with the victory of excellence. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, let our efforts as a means to enlighten and convince ourselves that the personal safety of either outer or inner is a prerequisite for achieving happiness and excellence in various fields. O Allah, grant us faith and strength in order to face the challenges of life during the transition period and in the face of life in this new era. Ya Zal Jalali wal Ikram, O Allah, show us guidance and adjust our path and ways to achieve happiness and glory. Let us listen to people who like the good things. Let us avoid doing the bad and evil things. O Allah, bless our life in this meeting and gathering and prevent us from harm and unfortunate events. Allahumma ja'al jam'ana haza jam'an mawhuma wa tafawqana min ba'dihi tafawqan ma'suma wa la taj'al lillahumma fina wa la ma'na wa la man yatba'una shaqiyan wa la matrudan wa la mahruma. Allahumma ja'al khayra a'marina akhiruhu wa khayra a'malina khawatimuhu wa khayra ayyamina yawma alqaka fih. Allahumma fir lana zunubana wal ikhwanina allazina sabaquna bil iman wa la taj'al fi qulubina ghillan lil ladzina amanu rabbana innaka ra'ufur rahim. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin.
Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you, Awang Zizan Safwan, for the doa. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to everyone. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to extend a warm reception to all of you. We are very honored and content to have you all for Sarawak State Level of Secondary School Public Speaking Competition 2023. I am Miss Dayang Nur Asila Suhana binti Abang Abu Nawas, and I will be your MC for today. We are also delighted to welcome every teachers and contestants to our school, and we extend the warmest welcome to those who have traveled from distance. Once again, welcome to SARIKEI, and we hope you have a pleasant stay. Ladies and gentlemen, the aim of this competition is to promote, to support, and to develop the skills of public speaking in school. For your information, there are 25 schools altogether who participate in this year's public speaking competition. First of all, before we begin our occasion, let me introduce to all of you the judges for today's competition. The first judge is Madam Nancy Nosyu from Erudition Sector, PPD 3 Aman. She will be our chief judge today. The next person beside her is Miss Lydia Anaisut from SMK Batu Lintang as our second judge. And the next person is Mr. Alex Wang Yuntek from SMK Lutong Miri as the third judge. the judges' decisions are finals and individual marks will not be disclosed. The timekeeper for this competition is Madam Chan Siu Ming and Madam Beatrice Ruben. Right before we begin, allow me to address the rules and regulations for the competitions. First of all, the competitions is divided into two sections. Section 1, prepared speech. Section 2, impromptu speech. For Section 1, prepared speech, contestants should deliver a prepared speech on a topic of their choice for 6 to 8 minutes. A warning bell will be sounded at the 7th minute and a final bell at the 8th minute. Marks will be deducted if exceeded. Next, for Section 2 impromptu speech, each contestant will get their turn to present their impromptu speech. Contestants are given a topic 4 minutes before they are due to present the speech. All contestants speak on the same topic. The time allocated for this section is 3 minutes. A warning bell will be sounded at the 2nd minute and a final bell at the 3rd minute. Marks will be deducted thereafter. The important things for the contestants are to make sure that you know your directions and set a focus for your speech. And here are some more reminders. Teachers are not allowed to guide and help the contestants. The audience need to lower down your voices, and throughout the competition, please give applause to the contestants as suited to the occasions. And lastly, all the contestants need to project your voice to all and present your speech as best as you can. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now let us begin Section 1, prepared speech. I would like to invite our first contestant to the stage to deliver her speech. Contestant number 1, please.
Imagine a fresh banana duct taped onto a white wall. How much would you be willing to pay? A few cents? A few ringgit? Maybe even 120,000 USD? Yes, you heard me correctly. 120,000 US dollars. What if I told you that this was the exact art piece presented to us by artist Maurizio Catalan? And the worst part is, someone actually bought it. This is only one out of the many ridiculous examples of contemporary art, which includes a dog painting that looks like a 4-year-old made it, or even a $1.1 million blank red canvas. It begs the question, what is art? How do we define art? Over time, the way people define art changes. Its factors stemming from artists' response towards global diversity, cultural diversity, as well as technological advancements. Here, a problem arises when artists start expressing themselves in a way that is out of the norm. As such, time and time again, the art industry is torn in half with only one question in mind. Should they, or should we, consider art as strange as Catalan's to be real art? Before we dive in further, we have to answer the simple question of what contemporary art is. Contemporary art, in short, is art created by artists of the current generation. Art in today's context refers to visual art that you can see, ranging from drawings to art installations to digital paintings to non-fungible tokens, better known as NFTs. So, when you think about contemporary art, visualize weird, strange, and fresh concepts, atypical to what you've ever seen before. Think giant yellow blobs carrying beer crates, or a robotic arm sweeping bloody ooze over and over, or even a toilet. Every inch of it covered in 18-karat gold. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a true throne fit for a king. Now, if that does not sound like your cup of tea, then you may agree with the side that opposes contemporary art as real art. These are the people who believe and lean more to the traditional values of art, which is the belief that art is only good if it's within the scope of realism and semi-realism. So picture Van Gogh's drawings, pictures Whistler's mother, or even Girl with the Pearl Earring. These people believe that art requires fine skill and should properly depict the artist's expression. For example, if you were to think about Girl with the Pearl Earring, even the title itself clearly depicts the painting. But somehow, somewhere in the world of contemporary art, a banana plastered onto a white wall is a symbol of modern world issues. How are we going to convince the average Joe that artworks by Cy Twombly have a much deeper meaning and are not merely red splashes of paint on blank canvases? When you go to the flip side of the situation, you will find the people that fight for more freedom in the expression of art. These are the people who believe in the liberty. And it's not a surprise, after all, our generation have always fought for more liberty and freedom of expression. And art is not an exclusion to the subject. In the words of Russian art theorist Kandinsky, there is no must in art because art is free. In the eyes of these people, why? Why should artists conform to garner a large audience if the only condition to art is to express oneself? Whether it be their likes, their dislikes, messages, or simply nothing at all, then contemporary art is most definitely real art. In other words, yes, art industry has considered the fact that literal scribbles sold for millions as real art. Whether or not we think the art is good, bad, beautiful, or ugly, that is all up to the eyes of the beholder. To conclude, the art industry and the subjectivity of art and how we interpret it should not cause such a large fuss amongst the art community or even us, the common people. After all, they're just drawings, paintings, sculptures, or who knows what they may think of next. Even though they may spark new discourses, the banana on the wall won't chase you down if you dislike it. At the very end of the day, both sides agree on the fact that visual art is produced to satisfy the intentions of the artist. So, even if you don't think Yayoi Kusama painting polka dots on Louis Vuitton bags is something that's innovative or creative, I'm sure it'll still make a pretty good conversation starter. So, my hopes for the art industry is for it to further develop to fuse both traditional and contemporary art values to form unity within the community. And with that, I would like to end. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, contestant number 1, for the wonderful performance.
6 minutes, 4 seconds.
And now, please welcome our second contestant to the stage. Contestant number 2, please.
Test, yep. Greetings, friends, ladies, and gentlemen. Time. We are all familiar with the concept of time, aren't we? Well, think again. The concept of time exists in some shape or form throughout the whole human history. Ancient civilizations, the Mesopotamians and the Egyptians, used natural phenomena like the rise and fall of the sun, the appearance of the moon, and events like the migration of a specific animal species and more. To them, time is a representation of important events in their day-to-day lives. a physical manifestation of moments that need to be kept track of. As time progresses, more advanced and sophisticated ideas were introduced by scientists. By then, the nature of time does not simply lie in the observation of other phenomena, but a deeper understanding of the fabric of the universe and all that governs and controls it. Important figures like Albert Einstein and Sean Carroll proposed ideas and concepts which revolutionized the way people perceive time, challenging the linear notion of time and introducing it as a more fascinating property of the universe. They were able to link it to the greater concept of space, adding another dimension to our otherwise three-dimensional universe. Ideas like time dilation were introduced, which explains that time can be perceived differently by different parties due to their relative motion. In other words, someone traveling in a rocket circling around the globe experiences time faster than someone explaining how time dilation works on stage. In turn, the person in the rocket experiences less time. This presents an interesting opportunity for time travel, or at least to a certain extent, time manipulation to be real, and proves even further that time does not flow linearly. At this point, you may be thinking to yourself, what is this person who does not even completely understand the concepts he's talking about trying to say? And how does understanding those fancy scientific buzzwords affect my life? Well, I believe being able to prove the non-linear property of time can help us to make better use of our time and eventually improve the quality of our lives. Wow, such big claims, you might say. Well, give me a chance in the form of some of your time to prove it. Every day, I'll spend at least half an hour, sometimes a whole hour, just scrolling through YouTube, completely ignoring the work that I had to do. When I eventually tap out of it, I get mad at myself for doing so. Other times, I'll be furious at myself for missing out on opportunities that were there for the taking. Suddenly thought of a good question I could have asked during the debate competition but failed to do so, or come up with a better ending for my essay after the exam. We see time as a reflection of our mistakes, and we cannot get over it. Do those two scenarios sound familiar? That's what millions around the world face possibly on a daily basis. Or at least my friends do relate to them when asked. What this brings up is a bigger question, and the main idea of this speech, on how time affects and alters our daily decisions and choices. Human beings tend to perform on both the extreme ends of the spectrum when given the opportunity to wander freely in time. The first possible scenario is that even though we are all aware that one day our clock will stop ticking, time gives us a false sense of security that there is always a later on to fix it, especially when we overestimate our abilities and underestimate the actual amount of time the task requires, which would then lead to lack of motivation and then a waste of time. The second possible scenario is that people torture themselves by not letting go of the past, often repeating the same scenario over and over again in their heads, even though knowing full well that they cannot do anything about it. So, how do we solve these problems? Just like most of life's problems, we can always find a solution in children's game. There was once a children's game experiment that required the participants to reach a prize on the right-hand side of the board without actually moving their hands to the right, which represented moving backwards in time. Any ideas on how to accomplish it? Well, this experiment was done on adults too, with very few of them figuring out the solution to this game. So it's fine if you didn't figure it out. What the children ended up doing was that they simply turned around to face the other way, swapping left for right, and then reach the prize by moving to the left. Correct. It was that simple. Those who did not spot the trick ended up complaining they were cheating to do so. However, according to Einstein's equation, maybe Mother Nature herself isn't above this kind of cheating. The simple fact of reality is that just like a children's game, standing still from our point of view, on our timeline, we must look forward. That's not an advice, that's a rule. For the 1 more hour lah, haya, why so worried? I still have a whole afternoon, gang. Look forward. Look forward in time, and you'll see that eventually we run out of 1 more hour, both figuratively and literally. For the right-hand prize achievers, it's time to change the way we view time. We are not taught history to cry over past events, but to prepare ourselves for future unknowns. Look forward in time, and you'll see that those past ifs are presented in the form of new opportunities that we need to seize. Let's have a look at one last case study to wrap up today's speech. I should have finished this very script a whole month ago, but I did not. And when faced with the pressure of the deadline to finish it, I often reflected on the time I missed out on and how I could have used it to write a more complete script. What was I supposed to do in the beginning? What am I supposed to do now that has become the past? What should you do when faced with the same scenario? Remember, we should simply use the concept of time dilation and outrun our past mistakes and those in the making. Transcend the linearity of time by doing so, and push it forward on our very own will. In the end, we have discussed time as a subject of scientific studies, as a philosophical matter, almost as an actual person. But when it's all said and done, and we eventually return into a real-life world, it is true that all of these discussions, they don't mean anything. But what will happen is, no matter if it's subconsciously, or the light breeze of the morning wind acting as nature's reminder, or science equation, or anything else, when the clock strikes 12 and we stand in the face of time, to always remember to push it forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 2, for the very informative performance. Now, please.
7 minutes, 18 seconds.
Now, please welcome our third contestant to the stage. Contestant number 3, please.
Am I audible? Right, okay. A good day to all of you gathered here. Today, I stand before you to delve into a topic of immense significance: the profound impact of society on the lives of teenagers. Now, adolescence is a transformative period of time filled with self-discovery, exploration, and the formation of our core values and beliefs. Society, with its intricate web of influences, plays a pivotal role in shaping our worldviews, aspirations, and the path that we choose to follow. So in the next few minutes, let us all embark on this captivating journey as we unravel the complex tapestry of society's influence on our life. Before we fully immerse ourselves in this exploration, allow me to share a timeless saying: you can't understand someone until you've walked a mile in their shoes. This sentiment reminds us to empathize and understand others before passing judgment. It also serves as a gentle reminder that we must approach this topic with care and depth. So without further ado, let us all embark on this captivating journey through the trials and triumphs of being a teenager in today's society. Imagine, if you will, a young teenager named Emma. Emma represents all the teenagers that are currently facing our society. She stands at the steep of adolescence filled with dreams, aspirations, and an unyielding zest for life. Little does Emma know that hidden within the twists and turns of her labyrinthine journey are challenges that will test her resilience, shape her character, and leave an unforgettable mark on her future. Now, let us transport ourselves into Emma's world, where she finds herself overwhelmed by the weight of academic expectations. As a bright and ambitious student, Emma sits at her desk, surrounded by the relentless pursuit of grades and achievements. It feels like an endless race, where she often feels like she is falling behind. The pressure to conform, fit in, excel becomes the constant presence in her life. Behind her cheerful facade that she puts on every day, Emma grapples with doubts and insecurities that gnaw at her heart. She finds herself comparing her own progress to that of her seemingly perfect classmates, yearning for recognition and acceptance. Ladies and gentlemen, can any of us in this room relate to such experiences? Have you ever felt the pressure to conform or fit in during your teenage years? Society puts such an excessive emphasis on academic achievements and shows no progress in slowing down to the point where it may lead to teenagers cracking under pressure. They might think negatively of themselves. They might even perceive themselves as failures and think that they are incapable of meeting expectations. Statistics have shown that the expectations placed on teenagers to achieve academic success are at an all-time high. A study conducted by the American Psychological Association found that over 45% of teenagers surveyed reported experiencing high levels of stress due to school-related pressures. This stress can often manifest in anxiety, sleep disturbances, and feelings of burnout. This can lead to chronic stress, which, if left unaddressed, can contribute to mental health issues such as depression and anxiety disorders. Now, as Emma walks across the hallways of her school, she encounters an entirely different kind of battlefield. The captivating yet treacherous world of social media. Platforms like Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok beckon her with promises of self-connection, self-expression, and escape from reality. However, within this digital realm lies a double-edged sword. Emma finds herself entangled in a web of comparisons as every scroll unveils carefully curated images of friends seemingly living picture-perfect lives. The pressure to conform to societal standards, to be deemed beautiful, and to amass likes and followers becomes an overwhelming force. Members of the floor, can you relate to the negative effects of social media, such as the tendency to compare oneself or the constant need for validation? But the challenges Emma faces does not end there. Society bombards her with unattainable beauty standards, painting a distorted picture of what it means to be beautiful. Billboards, magazines, and advertisements inundate her senses, showcasing airbrush models with flawless skin and impossibly slim figures. Emma yearns for acceptance, for someone to reassure her that she is just enough as she is. Her self-worth comes into question. Her self-esteem begins to erode, and her confidence begins to dwindle in each passing day. According to a study conducted by the National Eating Disorder Association, over 80% of teenagers feel the pressure to conform to societal's beauty standards. This can lead to many harmful behaviors such as extreme dieting, excessive exercising, and even the development of eating disorders such as anorexia and bulimia. Amidst these challenges, however, Emma is not alone. Ladies and gentlemen, Emma is not alone. Look around this room and you will find a community full of compassionate individuals ready to uplift and support one another. Just as Emma embodies the struggles faced by countless of teenagers, each and one of us here has a unique story to tell. We all possess the power to make a difference, to shape a society that acknowledges and addresses the problems faced by teenagers. Together, let us challenge societal norms, redefine success, and create a world where teenagers are celebrated for their unique talents and passions. Imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine a society where fulfillment and personal growth takes precedence over grades and achievements. Let us empower our young people to forge their own path, seize their dreams, and pursue all of it. As we draw this captivating journey to a close, let us remember the power we hold within us. Together, let us create a society that embraces individuality, nurtures mental health, and celebrates the boundless potential of every young person. Together, let us empower young teenagers just like Emma to rise above the challenges, seize their dreams, and shape a future where their voices are not just heard, but valued. With everything out of the way, I would like to thank you for your unwavering attention and willingness to embark on my transformative journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 3, for the brilliant performance.
7 minutes, 35 seconds.
Now, please welcome our 4th contestant to the stage. Contestant number 4, please.
He was punched heavily on his left cheek. Blood was streaming down his mouth. But he clenched his fist and tried to get back up. Another punch on the right. Ah! But the hard nut refused to give up. Slowly he got up. But the enemy gave him a real kick on the stomach. Muhammad Ali said, "I am the greatest. I said it even before I knew I was." This hero is the real fighter in the heavyweight kickboxing, as well as freedom and human rights. A very good and pleasant morning to our honorable judges, timekeepers, teachers, students, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking to you is Muhammad Kamarul Ashraf on When the Going Gets Tough. Well, this may sound like a bit cliche, but it is a phrase that holds a lot of power, especially when things seem tough. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes we may feel like we have hit a dead end. We may feel like giving up is the only option. One punch is not enough. Another punch to drench our spirit. However, it is important to remember that giving up is not a solution. Giving up only robs us the opportunity for us to succeed. When we face challenges, we must embrace them with a positive attitude. It is okay to feel discouraged. It is okay to feel defeated. But we must not let these emotions consume us. Instead, we should use them to fuel our determination for us to succeed. All right, let's get realistic. In faced with difficulties, we often thought about retrieving, getting back to our comfort zone. Sound familiar? Well, many times, I felt like giving up too. Being in the science stream, I was struggling to pass the marks, and to meet the benchmark set by my teachers was harder than I think. In the last school exam, I got 30 marks for my math. This has never happened to me before. I could not recognize myself. And not just that, I couldn't even catch up with the syllabus as well. You see, as much as I like to be in the science stream, but I feel like quitting most of the time. It's just too hard. Why do I have to suffer like that? Perhaps I should compromise on my goal and be a little gentle on myself. My demonic mind was whispering to me, luring me to get back to my comfort zone. It's okay, my boy. You won't die after all. Those were the moments where I almost gave up. So, what is the solution? All right, tips number 1. Break them down into smaller, bite-sized, and manageable tasks. Well, we cannot eat a whole cow, don't we? but we can definitely eat the beef. This makes the task less overwhelming and more achievable. After that, we should set achievable goals and work towards them one step at a time. Each and every small victory leads us to our ultimate goal. So, in class, I choose to sit at the most upfront seat now. But, well, because of my size, I was like a big piece of wallpaper, blocking half of my classmates' view. Alright, tips number 2. Never be afraid to ask for help. Thick-faced. Sometimes we may feel like we are in this alone, but there are always people who are willing to offer support and guidance. Let me tell you, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Remember that setbacks are a part of life, and they do not define us. What defines us is how we choose to respond to them. Giving up is easy, but we have a choice to be courageous, and a choice to be determined. So, in conclusion, it is only when we persevere that we can truly reach our full potential. Now, let me continue with the second part of the Muhammad Ali story. He tried to get back up. His left eye was swollen after the third punch by his opponent. But Muhammad Ali seized the opportunity. He grabbed his fist and machine attacked his opponent. In the end, the winner is he who always bounces back. Muhammad Ali is the greatest heavyweight from all eras. Ladies and gentlemen, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, contestant number 4, for the encouraging performance.
6 minutes, 8 seconds.
Now, please welcome our 5th contestant to the stage. Contestant number 5, please.
Am I audible? Okay, thank you. The elixir of life. It's a mythical, magical substance that brings vitality, rejuvenation, and a sense of fulfillment to life. But what a shame that it doesn't actually exist. Because if it were to exist, it would literally be on the top of everyone's wish list. To be a forever young, forever 18, forever fulfilled immortal. But what if I told you that there's an existing elixir that can enrich your life, that can give you just that happiness you need? It can change your life, and it can even transform the world. Good day, I bid to the honorable judges, esteemed timekeepers, my fellow friends, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm standing here to raise awareness on the very topic that holds the very essence of our existence, the elixir of life. Today, we're going to explore an elixir that brings happiness to our lives. It's not an elixir of mythical concoctions or magical hidden treasures, but rather an elixir within the realm of emotions. The alchemy of love. Friends, love is the foundation of life. Love is the precursor of all things wonderful. But before you deem my speech as cringy, lend me your ears to hear me out. Friends, think about it. Every single relationship you experience is based off of love, whether it's familial, friendly, or romantic. Now, take a look around you and take a moment to ponder upon the unwavering support that has been given to you throughout your entire life. The comfort, the care, the warmth, the support that you have been given through. How has that changed your life? We cannot deny that it's the enduring power of love that sustains us in reality. My friends, love doesn't always require you to make grand gestures like buying expensive gifts to prove your true love. Sometimes, a simple smile is enough to brighten your days. That simple act of just pushing up the muscles in your face is enough to give you that exhilaration, that illumination, and that happiness, that support you feel. Now, to illustrate, imagine seeing your crush flash you a big smile. Bam! You feel that shot of adrenaline, suddenly you're on cloud 9, suddenly you're so full of life. But why? It's because you understand that there's an essence of love hidden behind that smile. You feel its impact here. Friends, if you go onto any random romance Korean drama right now, when the lead confesses their love to the love interest, they go "사랑해요," and then there's lights in the background. There's even music playing in the background. Why? It's because love is a euphoric feeling. You feel its impact here. Mother Teresa once said, "Small things, just small things, done with great love can change the world." Our world faces so many challenges these days. And frankly, all these problems can be solved if we just spread a little more love for the world. Water pollution, air pollution, noise pollution. Then there's mental health, poverty, there's wars. We face so many problems every single day. Look, knowing that, for example, knowing that many of us face mental health problems every single day. We, as human beings, with conscience, with a loving heart, we should spread love to these people. Show that they're not alone. Show them support. Show them that care. Friends, as many would put it, love is the solution to all problems. The reason why love is a true elixir of life, because it brings such a big effect. The profound impact goes well beyond what an elixir of immortality can bring. Friends, I would like you to imagine something. But before that, please put your feet on the ground, relax your entire body, relax your shoulders, and take a deep breath. Imagine waking up every single day and seeing sunlight gleaming through your bedroom window. Feel the warmth of the sun's rays hugging you. Is there anyone in your life that reminds you of that sun, that's constantly spreading endless energy and positivity to everyone around them? Picture that person. Friends, we cannot deny that it's their unconditional love that sustains us in reality. That love gives such a big impact. Their love is what allows us to be standing or sitting here today. Friends, there's a type of depression called seasonal affective disorder, which essentially reduces your serotonin levels when you're less exposed to sunlight, which makes you feel more depressed during those times. Here's the truth. If we want to help these people battling their inner demons with mental illnesses, this disorder, we cannot control whether we want the sun to rise up today or not. That's of nature. That's not something we have of control. But something that is in our human nature, something is in our hands, something we have control over, is to love, to show that affection and care to the people around them. My friends, I have a true story to share. This is a bittersweet revelation. A few days prior to this public speaking competition, my cat died unexpectedly. Grief washed over me. I was angry, I was sad, I was enveloped in regret. I didn't get to say goodbye. I was too busy minding my own business, and before I knew it, she was gone. Forever. I was angry, I was heartbroken. I started to question love. Why do we love when it ultimately just leads to sorrow and separation? Why do we love when it ultimately just going to suffer in the end? It's all just going to bring agony. So why do we love? Love isn't at all perfect. But as time went by, I realized something. I saw a good quote the other day. It said, "Don't cry because it's over. Rather smile because it happened." And so today, I won't call over the departure of my cat, but I'll cherish every single memory we shared, and I'll smile because of them. Friends, if you still believe that love is not worth the suffering, do you know that one of the biggest regrets people have as they lay on their deathbeds is that they have not loved the people around them yet enough? This itself is enough to prove that love is a true elixir of life, because you cannot measure the value of a life lived without love. I know that many of us in the audience have heard many love speeches telling you to love, but how many have you actually taken into action? And so, friends, I urge you, I hope that my speech today inspires all of us to love boldly. May it be loving ourselves, loving others, or receiving love in return. Embrace this transformative power of love. Embrace this elixir of life. Perhaps we can't physically see or touch this potion, but rest assured that it lives here. And so, friends, to end my speech today, I will leave you with one question to dwell upon. Will you accept this wonderful elixir? Thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 5, for your sublime performance.
8 minutes, 42 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant to the stage. Contestant number 6, please.
Hello. Hello and greetings, fellow audience. Today, I would like to deliver a speech regarding a topic that has a special place in my heart: dealing with judgments. But before I go any further, what is being judgmental all about, you may ask? Being judgmental is where you have or display an overly critical point of view towards someone. And I'm pretty sure that majority of the audience here has experience with judgmental people, where you messed something up in your life and suddenly rumors about you started floating in the air. Most people think being judgmental is somewhat normal, but what they doesn't know is, due to this social problem, it has led many people into thinking how worthless and disgusting they are. I'm certain that most people have normalized the culture of judging people based on their outer appearance. And it is very unacceptable because we never know what someone is going through. We also shouldn't judge people from their past mistakes. Mistakes are meant to be made to teach you how to face reality and the downhills of life. Remember, you can't run away from mistakes even if you are Isaac Newton. We also cannot deny that one of the factors to a judgmental society is, guess what? Yes, social media. Imagine this scenario. You hop onto your social media account, and maybe your Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or TikTok. Happily, you post something without thinking twice and wait for the comments to float on your post. Ding! But all you could see are hate comments. Oh my gosh, this is so cringe. I love the confidence, sis. Suddenly, all you could do was stay silent and cry. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, the journey of judging yourself begins. So, how can we put this social problem to an end? Sadly, it depends on how the victim handles the situation themselves. But here are some tips on dealing with judgments, just in case any of you has to deal with it in the future. Firstly, reassure yourself that everyone makes mistakes. We are humans, not programmed robots, so we tend to make mistakes. Besides, we can learn to improvise ourselves from the past mistakes we made. Secondly, focus on your strengths instead of your weaknesses. Rather than focusing on what you can't do, focus on what you do best. For instance, not being able to solve a math problem doesn't mean you can't memorize the whole periodic table or can't write a heart-touching poem. If you are unsure of your strength, try to discover it yourself slowly but surely. Subsequently, surrounding yourself with good people helps a lot. Besides, they are able to keep you away from negativity and motivate you. But what if you are a loner and can't find any positive people? In this case, you have yourself. Always be kind to yourself, as you are the one who's going to choose the path to your own future. Subsequently, we should ignore the judgmental people. They may be in every corner on earth, but we can simply ignore them by just pretending they doesn't exist. Because the more you pay attention to them, the more it damages your mental health. Lastly, we should realize that people will never be satisfied with what you do. No matter how perfect you do something, people will always point out even the smallest and slightest mistake you made. Well, why do I say so? Actually, I have been through this situation. There was once when I joined a competition, which is one of my talents or specialties, you may say, and everyone knew about it. Not trying to brag, but keep in mind that people actually portrays me as the perfectionist student. And ta-da! Surprisingly, I didn't win. And when the news hit like bullet train, people started talking about me. Oh my gosh, she was so confident. What happened to her? I know, right? Isn't she like the school's hope student? And those were the words that lingered around my mind for 24/7. Not gonna lie, their words did give me some emotional damage. But you might be wondering, how did I actually deal with all those bullies? Looking back to where it all started, I actually started realizing that their words were killing me softly. So day by day, I ignored their words and slowly I regained my confidence back. And look where it brought me to right now. So here I am, talking about a topic that ruined my mental health badly. To be honest, I just wish I could turn back time to reassure my younger self that everything was going to be alright. Well, enough of me talking about how to deal with judgmental people. But what about how to stop being so judgmental? First and foremost, keep your nose out of anybody's business. This behavior actually leads you into wanting to know about other people's problem, which is definitely none of your concern. Allegedly, someone whom judges others is due to insecurity. Take this as an example. When you meet someone who is lesser than you will feel much more confident when you judge or degrade them when they do something way worse than you. Am I right? If that's the case, I suggest you to stop and start improvising on yourself instead. You and I are the same. We are both humans, not some majesty creatures. We have no right to judge other people's. In conclusion, people will always find a way to let you down. They care about your achievements only for a day or two, but will always talk about your mistakes until the end. My advice is just to enjoy every moment of life. Life is too short for you to care about what others have to say about you. Kurt Cobain from Nirvana once said, "I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I am not." Thank you for lending your ears. Therefore, I end my speech with a goodbye and thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 6, for your motivating performance.
7 minutes, 52 seconds.
Now, please welcome our following contestant to the stage. Contestant number 7, please.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Have you ever wished to do something amazing or exceptional in your life? Have you ever wished to make an impact on the world? Have you ever wished to innovate, change, or revolutionize something? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can firmly assure you that all that starts with just a tiny little dream. Honorable judges, timekeepers, ladies and gentlemen, needless to say, dreaming is fun, it's natural, and it's necessary. Every notable accomplishment in human history began as a dream. But the most important thing is that you have to pursue your dreams. Because if you just stand there and never move, for sure, nothing is going to happen. Action speaks. There are times where people treat having dreams as a big joke because some of us choose to give up on them. If you dare to dream, then better get yourself prepared for whatever critics, ridicules, which will crush your dreams. All you need to do is to calm down and tell yourself, take the challenge and conquer it. Just do what you love and love what you do. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all meant to dream. As Walt Disney said, all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. That means if we have the courage to chase after our dreams, they'll become a reality in the very near future. Do you have the courage to dream? Albert Einstein says, never give up on what you really want to do. The person with big dreams is more powerful than the one with all the facts. I feel that these words are extremely meaningful and true. If you fear failures, definitely you are not going to achieve your goals. Even if you hear an inner voice that cries out, no more, I can't take being hurt again. Just convince yourself. Making mistakes are just facts of life. It's a response to the errors and failures that counts. It's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up. Ladies and gentlemen, before you give up on your dreams, don't forget that the people who change the world are never the ones who are scared. At some point, they did feel miserable or were frozen with fear. But what makes them so different is that they stay strong. They might as well cried or screamed out in pain. But they persevered not to let anything break their spirit. Steve Jobs, the man behind the revolutionary technology of Apple products, was a master of dreaming big. He did not let others' opinions to drown out his inner voice. He had the courage to follow his heart and intuition to be truly what he wanted to become. Without his big dreams, we will never get to see the light of day of Apple products. Thus, never let fear devalues your capability to follow your dreams, but rather the fear for not trying. So if you truly and wholeheartedly want to achieve something, all obstacles are obsolete. If you can dream it, if you can see it, then you can reach it. Because passion is the deciding factor on whether your dreams will become a reality or not. So, instead of being afraid of other people's judgments, be brave, unleash all your potentials, go for it, and bring your dreams to life. A few years ago, I watched a documentary, A Plastic Ocean. I was so overwhelmed with sadness when I saw the rivers, seas, and oceans filled with unimaginable amount of countless plastic waste. I pondered on why society would treat marine life so unfairly. I dream of a world with clean rivers, seas, and oceans. Although that dream might be a bit far-reached to achieve on my own, I still kept in mind, knowing a small and minute change by me will bring forth the wind of change for the betterment of a zero-plastic society. After the first few months of heartbreaking disappointment and hopeless efforts, I came across an inspiring quote from Nicholas G. Januski. One person cannot change the world, yet the world can change because of one person. Therefore, I've started using paper straws and sent unwanted papers and cans to the recycling center. To not give up on pursuing that dream, I always remind myself and the people around me that the plastic menace may seem harmless now, but never lose the moon while counting the stars. To not give up on pursuing that dream, I always improvise, try to make myself to always recycle the things that I use, such as plastic bottles, bags, and straws. Ladies and gentlemen, when you want to pursue your dreams, do know that the path from dreams to success does exist. Ladies and gentlemen, no one has the power to shatter your dreams unless you give it to them. So don't quit. Never stop trying to build the dreams that you can see if others can't see it. With your dreams so strong, obstacles, failures, and losses only act as motivation to achieve them, as there is no failure, except in no longer trying. do note that dreams are never real without disappointments, and success is never achieved without failures. Always remind yourself these four words: dream big, fly high. Thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 7, for your brilliant performance.
7 minutes, 22 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 8, to the stage. Contestant number 8, please.
Okay, here we go. A very good morning to the honorable judges, teachers, timekeepers, and all my fellow friends. And thank you, MC, for inviting me up on the stage. We all heard the term, "you only live once." We never know when we will leave this world, but only time will tell us. A few weeks ago, I read an article about a man from Singapore who had been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease that causes the joints and ligaments in his spine to get inflamed. On a train, he has to find a place to sit down. But many people expect him to stand up and grab a handle because he is young and seems to be in a pink of health. A lesson learned from this story is that we never know when we could suddenly become sick. Thus, we need to be more aware of our health and make a quick appointment with the doctor if we notice any vital changes within our bodies. So today, I am going to be talking about how we can take care of our health. Before we get to my main points, let me ask you one question. Did you hear me say the word autoimmune disease? Well, before we learn about autoimmune diseases, let us first learn what our immune system is. Our immune system plays a vital role in keeping our bodies safe from sicknesses and keeping us healthy. But in the case of autoimmune diseases, our body's natural defense system cannot tell the difference between our healthy cells or our foreign cells. This causes the immune system to mistakenly attack the healthy cells. A few examples of autoimmune diseases are vitiligo, asthma, and type 1 diabetes. These diseases can be invisible to the naked eye. Thus, some seem to be in perfect condition despite actually being sick from the inside. This is why people with these diseases do not get discriminated that much, but we never look further into their health problems. To sum it up, they may look healthy, but they are actually sick. The thing that makes us worry about autoimmune diseases is that nobody knows what is or are causing them. According to some theories, these diseases are caused by certain microorganisms such as virus and bacteria, as well as drugs. But I believe that our unhealthy lifestyle is one of the leading factors behind these diseases. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us see some ways on how we can take care of our bodies. Firstly, we must maintain a healthy diet. One of the reasons for our bad eating habits is our busy schedule. We spend so much time on our work that we do not have the time to cook for ourselves. As a solution, we order healthy food, be it online, or even at the restaurant. This can lead to risks of stroke, diabetes, and weight gain. We need to maintain a diet of healthy fruits and vegetables. Besides, we must lessen our intake of processed foods such as sausages, microwave meals, and canned corn because they contain an unhealthy level of sugar, sodium, and fat. We must also take 6 to 8 glasses of water every day to keep ourselves from getting infected, as well as keep our organs functioning properly. Healthy drinks such as coconut water, fruit juice, or green tea can be taken once in a while. As for parents, you may encourage your children to eat healthily because in the future, they will be the ones responsible for their health and safety. As the saying goes, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Secondly, we need to exercise more often. Most of the time, we like to sit down in the comfort of our beds and scroll through social media all day. As a result, we never get the chance to go outside and feel the wonders of nature as well as burn our calories. We should consider exercising as a daily hobby in our lives. Doing simple exercises such as jumping jacks, push-ups, or squats can help us feel relaxed and calm. This habit can keep us fit, no matter how old we are, be it kids, teenagers, adults, or even elderlies. As long as you incorporate fitness into your life, your future self will thank you for the past you lived, says Vincent Lam, a fitness instructor I watched on TED Talk. Last but not least, we must get enough sleep. I'm sure most of you know this one problem we have at school. We sleep during lessons. Why? Simple. It's because we don't get enough rest throughout the night. As a result, we do not pay that much attention to the whiteboard, and we might lose our chances of passing with flying colors. Lack of sleep can also lead to risks of high blood pressure, heart diseases, and even aches. Apparently, when the weekends or holidays arrive, we tend to sleep at least 11 p.m. at night or 12 a.m. in the morning. Despite this, we still need our energy for the bright day ahead. To solve this, we have to set an early sleeping schedule so we can be energized by the crack of dawn. Dear friends, taking care of your health is essential. If you are not taking care of your health, then who is? And dear parents, I know that you are going through a tough time taking care of your children. You have to go to work, send them to school, put food on the table. Please note that you should be taking care of not only us, your children, but yourselves as well, because we desperately need you. It is just so saddening to hear the news of a 55-year-old father who died because of diabetes, a disease that can easily be controlled if we change our lifestyle, such as our eating habits, while his children still need him the most. And dear teachers, especially the ones who are willing to train us for competitions such as today, I know that you burned the midnight candle just to finish your work, such as checking homework or planning lessons, just to allocate time to train your students for competitions, such as now. I know this firsthand because my mother, who is a teacher and a trainer, work past her sleeping schedules. Dear ladies and gentlemen, health is something worth fighting for because health is wealth. That's all from me. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, contestant number 8, for your outstanding performance.
7 minutes, 58 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 9, to the stage. Contestant number 9, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 1957, the world's first artificial satellite was successfully sent to orbit the Earth, and it went smoothly for 98 minutes non-stop. You might be wondering here today why I am talking about the satellite. The whole history of the first satellite tells us a story about a group of scientists who has diligently made their dreams come true. Just imagine, if they had never dreamt of such a contraption device, which is the satellite, we would never be ushered to all the new developments that we experience today. A very good morning to honorable judges, awesome timekeepers, my beloved peers, and ladies and gentlemen. I am Darlene Dujong Lington, and standing here today to talk about a very interesting topic, chasing our dreams. Today, I will share on how we can pursue our dreams. First and foremost, someone who wants to chase his or her dreams should be passionate about their dreams. Undying passion and burning desires are the driving forces that lead to success. Without them, your dream, your ambition cannot be accomplished. They energize your thoughts the same way that the electric current energizes and operates machines and appliances. Moreover, if you focus the energy of ambition and desire into your dream, you will make your goal possible and within reach. Just look at people who have achieved success. They did not attain their success just by thinking about it in a lukewarm manner. They were moved by passion and desire. Ladies and gentlemen, the most successful people in our world would agree with me that the fulfillment of your dreams lies within you and you alone. Though their roads were bumpy from time to time, these are the factors that ushered them forward until they achieved the success they pursued. As an example, I believe most of us do remember these two passionate brothers who chased their dreams and achieved them, the Wright brothers. If it was not of their ludicrous idea to fly a plane, none of us today would be able to sit in a Boeing 777. It is their passion that has materialized their dreams. People who chase their dreams should also be those who dare to fail, as failure is the mother of success. When you dare to dream, dare to follow that dream, dare to suffer through the pain, sacrifice, self-doubts, and friction from the world, then you are successful. There can never be a greater teacher than failure for those who want to pursue their dreams. A famous American philosopher, Albert Hubbard, once said, "A little more persistence, a little more effort, and what seemed hopeless failure may turn into glorious success." Ladies and gentlemen, hard work is the fuel that drives our dreams. It is the power that can help you to achieve anything you set your mind to, no matter how daunting the challenge may seem. Whether it's writing a book, starting a business, or pursuing a degree, hard work is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Hard work involves pushing yourself beyond your self-comfort and pushing through the challenges that stand in your way. Of course, there will be setbacks, failures, and disappointments, but that's where hard work comes in. It is the force that can drive us through those challenges and the power that can bring you back up when you feel like giving up. I encourage you to have faith and embrace hard work, for Albert Einstein once said, "In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity." Being optimistic is the way to live. It can shape up your attitude to chase your dreams. So don't let go of your dreams. If you have determination and believe in your dreams, you will succeed in spite of your desire to let go. Sometimes, people around you may push their values down your throat and make you feel the twinge of discouragement. Now, here is the very point where you must say to yourself that the only thing that can stop you from fulfilling your dreams is you. All dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Just look at Stephen Hawking, how he has proved to the world that being optimistic can even defeat the fate. From a physically challenged person, he has obtained great wisdom of knowledge. He has shown us that optimism can help us chase our dreams. In a nutshell, when our scientists can send a device in the size of a basketball to orbit the Earth, I believe that everyone here can bring their dreams to life. All that you need is a dab of passion, be willing to fail, embrace hard work, and living up optimism in you. These secret recipes will help you to spice up your journey to chase your dreams. Today, I stand here realizing one of my dreams to conquer this stage. And yes, I made it. For all of you here, always bear in mind that when you cease to dream, you cease to live. Thus, ladies and gentlemen, never be afraid of the space between your dreams and reality. If you can dream it, you can make it so. Thank you, Dream Chasers.
Thank you very much, contestant number 9, for your well-prepared performance.
6 minutes, 30 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 10, to the stage. Contestant number 10, please.
It is the year 2095. And just like any other typical day, you're scrolling through your iPhone 50, reading the latest news in the media. Suddenly, a peculiar headline catches your eye. AI helps scientists discover the cure for cancer. Amazing, isn't it? You continue scrolling. Your heart sinks. Politician infiltrates voting system in order to gain votes through AI. Greetings to the honorable judges and my dear listeners. My name is Esther, and today I'm beyond happy to share with you my speech entitled Friend or Foe. Ladies and gentlemen, from the time since the Industrial Revolution to the present where we are today, there's no doubt that our technology has evolved so much and has changed our lives for the better, hasn't it? Today, I'm here to talk to you about one intriguing technology that is extremely well known and has recently sparked some controversy around the globe. That technology is artificial intelligence, also known as AI. So, what exactly is artificial intelligence? To put it simply, AI is the capacity given by humans to machines in order to perform tasks that require human intelligence, such as thinking, creating, speaking, and discerning. It's artificial, as the systems don't exactly know what they're doing, as they're stimulating intelligence programmed
by humans. Personally, I've always seen AI tools as the cooler and better version of Google, which, in my opinion, is undeniably true. For instance, I'm sure most of us here are familiar with the powerful language model named ChatGPT, right? As a student, my discovery of ChatGPT felt as if I found a gem. What can I say? It's fast, straightforward, making research more efficient. Besides, as a student who often struggles with her Chinese assignments, I would use it for its translation feature, which is usually spot on and way better than Google Translate. ChatGPT is also immensely capable of writing essays, complex coding, and providing brilliant answers to any and every question you could possibly ask. Mind-blowing, isn't it? And guess what? This is just one of the tiniest scopes of AI's contribution to our modern society. As we expand our point of view around the globe, AI has helped medical professionals identify and treat illnesses, and even helped our law enforcement identify criminals through its advanced image recognition systems. The list of AI's contributions are endless as it continually assists and enhances our workload. Some would even say that AI could be the greatest friend we could ever ask for, as it always has our backs. However, would you believe me if I told you that AI could be the greatest foe to mankind? My dear audience, do you think AI would take over humanity in the future? Would it replace teachers? Would it send our world to mass destruction? Usually, sci-fi films and novels would portray a not-so-happy ending. And the fact that there are statements from humanoid robots like Sophia saying that she would destroy and dominate the human race is actually concerning. Would it be reality? What exactly should our response be towards AI? First of all, we need to understand that there is nothing wrong with using AI. The problem only arises when our intentions are corrupted, which leads to two major issues. Number one, the manipulation of AI, which results in crimes such as deepfakes, misinformation, and believe it or not, kidnapping. And number two, the most common issue between you and me today. That is the over-dependence on AI. You see, when we depend too much on AI, we experience numerous ethical downfalls. For example, plagiarism. If not for the other AI tools that help us detect plagiarism, how would you know the originality of one's work? For all you know, what if my prepared speech was fully written by ChatGPT? I'm just kidding. Of course it isn't. But you know what's sad? Is that the fact that when we rely too much on AI tools like ChatGPT, it hinders us from creativity and producing authentic work, which is dehumanizing. Why? Because we aren't robots. We are human beings so intricately designed, no machine can ever replace. We are designed to live and create, to empathize and connect, to mentor and to teach. This is why AI can never replace our teachers, as teaching isn't just information transfer. It requires passion, experience, and most of all, human interaction, all of which AI can never provide. Friends, AI is a superpower that should never be taken advantage of. Andy Crouch once wrote, "Power without effort diminishes us as much as it delights us." Here's a question to all my fellow friends who had to prepare your individual speeches. Like me, I'm sure most of you at some point struggled to start or finish writing them, isn't it? But hey, you're here today and you finally did it. Don't you love that rewarding sense of accomplishment? You see, that feeling of satisfaction is what AI robs us from when we depend too much on it. But when you embrace your limitations and exercise your body, soul, and mind, you gain a reward that can never be taken away from you. So, is AI a friend or a foe? Honestly, nobody knows. But as long as wisdom finds its way to be in our every come and go, we will be able to discern life's rightful flow. That is all from me. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, contestant number 10, for your superb performance.
7 minutes, 51 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 11, to the stage. Contestant number 11, please.
Testing, okay. A very good morning to the chairperson, honorable judges, respected timekeeper, fellow contestant, and the audience. I am Ferdinand Wang. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed an honor to be given the chance to stand here in front of you, the audience. My task today is not to talk about the environment, drugs, weather, education, or the worldwide issues, but I am going to talk about school. Secondary school life, a prison or a paradise. You decide at the end of my speech. School is the platform of life, so make it count. Some part of life we can do without, but definitely not school. I still remember my first time entering secondary school. The environment, subjects, and teachers are all changing. School is a place to experience, to explore, to discover yourself as an individual. It is believing, it is achieving, and a time to learn. It's expectation, developing responsibilities, and it is social. Highs, low, emotion, romance, friendship, enemies, and relationships are words that all come to mind. It's life. Hang in, step it up, plan and prepare. I said twice, make it count, because school is not forever. If you think about it, we should really embrace coming back to school. Well, when the day comes and there's no school to go back to, we'll miss it more than anything. Jokes aside, unless you're a teacher, of course you need to go back to school. Whatever that we are experiencing now as students, believe me, this time of our life will not come again. Never again will your biggest worries in life be about that mathematics homework you did not finish, or the horrible possibility of getting a pimple every Monday. Never again will your biggest worries in life be about that. Never again will you be part of community where age difference of a year matters so much, and moving up of levels from junior to senior seems so significant. Who isn't worried about grades, dramas, teacher, or even getting to school on time? The best way to start a new school day right is to be prepared. Here are some tips to help you make today and every day as your best one yet. First, wake up early. Next, set your goals. And then meet new people. Get involved, get organized, and the most important is to have a positive attitude. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, secondary school does not shape us wholly. It shapes our life journey. It shapes our future. It shapes us. Aside from this, these years allow us to build strong friendship with people. I have realized that at the age of 17, friends are not something you should take lightly. If you find just a couple of friends during school, we are more than blessed. Most importantly, I earn friends here, friends who remain so for my entire lifetime. One of the greatest blessings of my school life has indeed been my friends. Secondary school is the defining time in our life to find ourselves and break loose from our shells. How can we not talk about school when we spent almost a decade learning in this historical building? Along the way, I believe you must have learned something. For me, secondary school does not only shape my way of learning, it helped me to shape my way of life, to be disciplined, to have good time management, to socialize, to believe, and most importantly, to eat very well. Once, during my physics class, I was too hungry. I couldn't focus on my teacher's teaching. The nasi lemak from the canteen made me drool while learning. Oops, I'm not thinking what to eat after this ends. Not to forget, my first time joined public speaking in school, I don't have self-confidence. However, my teacher shaped me. She enhanced and polished my speaking skills until I am able to give a speech in front of you. I have a favor. Can you raise up your hand if you still remember who is your favorite teacher when you were in secondary school? Thank you for your response. I believe our teacher always someone who shapes us from now until we are becoming someone. I am halfway towards the end of my speech. What thoughts do you have about school? I believe some people think that school is like a prison. Rule number 1, boys, tuck in your shirt. Rule number 2, girls, please tie your hair. Rule number 3, recess time is up, back to your class. Rule number 4, please hand in your homework. Those rules makes us feel very uptight, right? Without rules and regulation in school, I might just go to school at 9 a.m. and head back home at 12 p.m. 3 hours of learning is enough, but we are learn anything? We are learn time management. We are learn some of respect? I guess not. Ladies and gentlemen, nowhere else but in school is there such a community who teaches you the positivity of life. Despite the separation between grades, despite the clear distinctions of levels among senior and junior, high school has the sense of school unity. Secondary school is a wonderful, unique experience that many don't appreciate until it's too late. Instead of dreading the return to school, get excited about it. Like all of our parents and teachers like to tell us, you only go to school once. To conclude, it has indeed been an unforgettable journey which will remain in our heart forever. Secondary school is filled with lots of excitement and love. It makes us understand the value of time and a wonderful chapter in our life. There may be sadness, mistakes, letdowns, but you can't forget the good times. You can't ignore the photograph you took. Secondary school is an experience. So I believe we should all make the most out of it. Now, back to question. Have you decided it yet? Is secondary school a prison or a paradise? That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 11, for the exceptional performance.
Seven minutes, 40 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 12, to the stage. Contestant number 12, please.
Thank you, Mr. MC. Mrs. MC, I'm sorry. A very good day to the wise and honorable judges, the timekeeper, my worthy and well-prepared opponents, and members of the floor. Today, I would like to raise the issue of the value of saying thank you. Has it ever crossed your mind as to why we say thank you? It is very simple concept, but sadly often forgotten. Saying thank you can be an expression of gratitude in response to a birthday present, a compliment, or even some helpful act of support. Frankly speaking, I am really nervous now and my legs are shaking. I am not sure that the quality of my speech will match your expectations. Nevertheless, I am really thankful to have such a wonderful audience present here, lending me your ears. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, saying thank you also displays good manners. It demonstrates that we value courtesy and good values. Saying thank you for something that we receive, no matter how small, is always a great way to communicate. It shows understanding and encourages a positive receptions and acceptance. Try to imagine this scenario. Someone stops us in the middle of the street and asks us for directions. We gladly show the person to their destinations. Once done, the person resumes their journey without thanking you. How do you feel? Angry? Hurt? Unappreciated? Well, let us change this scenario and put ourselves as the beneficiary of some kind deed. Our mother prepares dinner for us, or our father gives us pocket money. Have we always said thank you to them? I guess most of us here would answer no. Ladies and gentlemen, why does this happen? Are we really that ungrateful, or is that we fail to express our gratitude? Why is it so difficult for society or people nowadays to say such a simple two words? This usually happens because of our natural habits of taking things or people for granted, especially to those who are dearest and closest to us. We frequently assume that they understand our appreciation for their acts of kindness. Sometimes we even forget to say thank you, as we are so inert for the help and support that they give us. Ladies and gentlemen, our behaviors can be really negative and self-centered. We seek for the big things in life to be taken care of, to the neglect of those many small yet important things that have been given to us. We complained about our car, which is small and not of the latest model, as a Perodua Exia, and wish for a brand new, sexy, and attractive Proton X9T.
we forget to be thankful for being able to travel by car compared walking on foot. In addition, we denigrate our house, which is small and stuffy, and wish for air conditioning in every room, including the toilet. We forget to be thankful for having a place where we can spend time with our families, cooking hot and delicious meals. And most importantly, having shelter from all kinds of weather. Even in times in great sorrow and grief. And yet, here's scope to be thankful. For what? You will ask yourself. The answer is simple. Our ability to cry. By weeping, we can express our grievances and dejections. Imagine the moment when we are sad or in pain and we are unable to cry. In addition, we receive the grace of friends who will always support us during these times of need. Ladies and gentlemen, I strongly believe that during this journey we call life, nothing should be taken for granted. This is because as humans, we need to feel appreciated, no matter how much the gratitude is. If we cannot show a note of thanks to others, we certainly cannot expect to receive it in return. Gratitude works in both ways. Remember, in the end, it is only when the convenience is lost that we realize its importance to us. So, ladies and gentlemen, saying thank you is merely an expression you may think, but believe me, an expression of gratitude can have significant impact. It can lift one's spirits, mend broken hearts, create special bonds, and make someone feel good and appreciated. Before ending my talk, I would like to express my personal gratitude for each member of working committee, teachers, students, and everyone in this room for their efforts in making a success for these public speaking competitions. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your admirable performance.
Seven minutes, 32 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 13 to the stage. Contestant number 13, please.
All right, thank you to the MC. Good morning to the honorable judges, to the timekeepers, and to the teachers and my fellow friends. I'm contestant number 13, and standing here today, I'm going to talk to all of you about mankind's deepest fear. Well, what is it, you ponder? And I believe that most of you right here have your own answer. But to me, it is regrets in life. And if you doubt it, stick with me. Now, my friends, I want all of you to close your eyes. Yes, close your eyes. Relax. Imagine. Visualize. Get the crisp image in your head that you are on your deathbed. It is your final moments. And all you can see are those tall, dark figures shadowing around you. These, my friends, are your talents, gifts, strengths that for some reason you didn't discover. You didn't step on the stage. You didn't let your voice out. You didn't do those sit-ups, push-ups. You didn't read those books. And now, there they are staring at you with large, angry eyes saying, we came to you. And only you can give us life. And now, we are all going to die with you forever. My friends, how many times in life you have an idea or maybe a glimpse of thought, but instead of grabbing onto it with sturdy actions, you just let it slip right through your fingers and next, right through your life. My friends, how many times in life you stop doing something because a loss of passion, you say. But the truth is that you're just being lazy. Just face it. You're just being some coward with a loser mentality. Life is simple. Life is a straight line, my friend. And there is no shortcut. You either work slow from behind or run fast in the front. And there will be temptations. There will be distractions in the form of obstacles telling you to stop, telling you it isn't worth the blood, sweat, and tears. But you, my friend, the only way you can deal is to shut your ears and just run harder. That's it. You see, my friends, the true meaning and definition of life is to live it to the fullest and end your life with emptiness on the inside. And when I mean emptiness, I mean end your life with no regrets or remorse. This is life. Just like what the great Arnold had said, world champion, bodybuilder, the actor of the infamous I Will Be Back. He once said that life is not about how hard you can hit. Hey, it is about how hard you can get hit and keep on moving, because that's how winners are made. Life is a marathon, not a 100-meter sprint. It is all about perseverance, my friends. And with that, I have a short story to share with all of you right here. A personal experience from myself, all right? So back then, somewhat a month ago, July of the year, summer midterm holiday, I am preparing for the school's public speaking trials. That's something that I've been anticipating, embracing for such a long time. And yet, just days before the big days arrives, disaster struck. I got a very serious case of throat infection. And I believe to most of you public speakers right here, that has got to be the worst case scenario you could have ever imagined. It was up to the fact that I could have barely speak for days. And when the event arrives, I'm still taking my meds thrice a day. And every single word that comes out my mouth follows with a stinging sensation. I was a desperate man. Very desperate. I could have remembered how I was desperately trying to win this tryout, desperately to prove myself, desperate to not be defeated by fate. And yet I tried. And when it is my turn, I step on the stage, I grab on the mic, I close my eyes, I took a deep breath, and here I am. Here I am. And right now, I'm having the same type of deja vu. Just days before this competition, I got another flu. And yet, I'm still standing on this stage because I believe that the chances of failure isn't absolute. There is no absolute failure, my friends, unless you didn't even dare to try. Believe in yourself. Gamble on everything you've got. Do things, try things, make things as if your life depends on it. As if tomorrow comes to you, my friends. And with that, I have a very simple question to ask all of you. What would you be if I want you to describe yourself as something? Yeah, keep the answer in your mind. What would you be if I want you to describe yourself as something? Well, I believe that most of you right here might think that you're pretty ordinary, right? Just like a piece of white paper, a blank, dull paper, boring, as you can say. And yes, I can confirm, you are a piece of paper. But not because you're dull, not because you're boring, but because you, my friends, have the potential to become every single thing you want. You see the difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary is that little bit of extra. If you can work hard, if you can persevere, you can get that extra. And on that piece of white paper, on that white canvas, you can move the pencil. You can draw and you can become everything you want. There are literally endless possibilities for you to discover. And all you need to do, my friend, is to take a step. And next. And it goes on and on, all the way, just marching towards success. My friends, don't be afraid to dream big. This is the time when you should be ambitious, when we should be fearless, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Always keep running. Eyes always on the stars above and feet always on the ground below. One is no dreamer as long as he keeps on running. One is an achiever. Even if he aims for the skies, even if he aims for the stars, even if he aims for the sun. And that's all from me today. I hope that my speech can change your life. I'm contestant number 13, and I will see you all champions around again next time. Thank you.
Thank you, contestant number 13, for your marvelous performance.
7 minutes, 47 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 14, to the stage. Contestant number 14, please.
Thank you. Good morning to the respected panel of judges, timekeepers, teachers, and fellow competitors that is present for the public speaking competitions today. I am Cecilia Evangelina binti Omar. Public speaking is the sine qua non of leadership. Without it, you cannot lead. With it, you can lead nation, raise armies, inspire victories, and blow fresh courage into the hearts of men. As Adlai Stevenson eulogized Sir Winston Churchill, and with this, I'd like to begin. This fine morning, I'd like to divulge my idea with you on my chosen topic, which is the world is a smaller place these days. Globalization has played a large part in making our seemingly large world shrink. Our world is a smaller place. Now, as you all may know, the word world actually represents the whole of human civilizations since the beginning of time, our experience, history, and also the human's conditions in general. Ladies and gentlemen, the human race is divided by continents, space-time, and economic differences that should actually enlarge our world instead of the opposite. But, well, globalization, as I said, is the drive that makes us human break boundaries that have been set up by nature. Human population to this date stand at 7 billion and still increasing slowly but steadily, and so are the technological advances of mankind. First of all, we humans have learned to break the boundaries of being across various continents by the inventions of airplane or aeroplane. We have the Wright brothers to thank for that, although we might be a little bit late, But these aviation pioneers have managed to make the world a little smaller in size. Humans can now travel the world and stay connected to their next of kin that may be living in other parts of the world. Then comes the inventions of other simpler but extremely useful vehicles such as motorcycles, cars, trains, and watercraft. These simple but useful machines make our life easier and also keep us connected to people all around us without having to worry about the distance. Technology is another culprit behind the act of making the world a little smaller in size. This has been done by the inventions of other Sorry. Technology is another culprit behind the act of making the world a small place. This has been done by the inventions of new gadgets and gizmos that enable us to reach out to one another. We have already, on many occasions, reached new heights and breakthroughs that diminish space-time. For example, the biggest breakthrough of all time by Mark Zuckerberg that has connected millions Facebook. The term Facebook might not be foreign to all of you because I'm sure each of you might have a Facebook account or have tried this amazing application. Other than Facebook, applications such as Twitter also have garnered followers around the world, and the numbers don't stop at thousands, but amounts of millions. Well, millions? Doesn't that explain a lot to you? Now, with billions of people connected on the same server, we could have all friends in the world without having to even travel. Now, that's what I call a major breakthrough. Then comes the epitome of inventions, the internet and the Wi-Fi. These are two other factors that cause our world to shrink into a very small size in terms of connection. For example, Google's latest brainchild, the Google Street Views as of 2014. This site enables us to reach out to Sorry. This site enables us to view places all around the world by just typing out the name of places one would like to view. We are able to look and connect to people without having to even travel. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure some of you might already be on WhatsApp while I'm giving a speech, right? Well, you might be texting someone in Australia, India, or even China, and that's what makes our world a small place. We are crossing boundaries even as I speak, being able to use technology and innovative ideas. We are able to make people connect without the hassle and troubles that may be time-consuming. I'm sure I have convinced you that our world is changing. We are entering the golden age where the material frontiers aren't going to stop us. Through all the examples, I believe I have given you some points to ponder, and while I take my leave, I hope I have given you some points. I hope I have convinced you what I hope I have convinced you that our world, it is changing. We are entering the golden age where material frontiers aren't going to stop us. Thank you to the respected judges, timekeepers, and teachers for lending your ears to listen to my humble speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your tremendous performance.
7 minutes, 15 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 15, to the stage. Contestant number 15, please.
Franklin Roosevelt, the 32nd United States President, said, "We cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can always build our youth for the future." Kathy Calvin, the ex-president of United Nations, also said that young people aren't the leaders of tomorrow. They are the leaders of today and tomorrow. Hence, we can see that young people, including students in schools like us, are precious gems to our nation, and we must play our role in nation building. A very good morning, I bid, to our honorable and wise judges, amazing timekeeper, and to my respected audiences. I'm Ishan Shwaran, and guess that from my opening, you should have expected that my speech is about youth and country. Yes, you get it all right. My speech is specifically about a student's role in nation building. So, what is the perfect definition of a strong nation? Why is it very important? Anyone? Anyone? Nation building is a creation or development of a nation. Well, a strong nation is built on the foundation of strong citizens and capable rulers who lead with equality and fair judgment among its people. As students, our role is to build our own character in various ways so as to equip ourselves to become our nation's precious gems. As stated by James Montgomery Boyce, a nation's strength is found not in the numbers of its laws, but in the character of its people. First and foremost, I strongly believe that building our nation begins by building our character within the family. So, it's important to strengthen our family bond. For example, we can first start from our closest family members and then move to a bigger circle, such as friends and people around us. Through playing board games, do sport activities, or even have a simple chat, we can foster our relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, this can lead our fellow citizens to the right direction. It is wisely said, a good seed will not fall far from a good tree. A student can eventually become a good citizen when they actually see good role models in their family. Be good models, and soon this leads to a better society. Yes, starting from within, the family institution. Next, to enhance nation building, a student should strengthen himself or herself with knowledge and skills. I believe that even our beloved teachers emphasize that students should pay full attention and push themselves to their full potential in scoring well in their studies, as they must be equipped with the latest knowledge and skills. Eventually, this will assist them in their critical thinkings, expressions of ideas, making wise decisions, and learning from their past mistakes, which aid in the process of building our nation. This will also prepare them for future responsibilities in solving complicated problems or tasks. Ladies and gentlemen, I can foresee the results. In my mind's eye, I see us, you, and you. The future generation are getting confident enough when facing any crisis in the future and are well prepared to face the forever challenging environment. Furthermore, students must possess strong moral values, not because they want to score in pendidikan moral, but really practice them in their daily lives. For instance, by exchanging simple pleasantries such as hello and good morning when meeting someone. This definitely will impact our society positively with our good behaviors. Besides, students are highly encouraged to join nationhood activities such as sports, forced home exchange program, and even doing charity for those in need. As the saying goes, action speaks louder than words. This can make our citizens trust one another and make our world a better place to live in. Ladies and gentlemen, let me sum up with the saying of a famous writer named Nitin Namdeo. A strong nation is built on the foundation of strong people who know their rights, duties, and act accordingly. So to my fellow Malaysians, our youth should always possess high moral values and act in positive manners. This can strengthen the relationship among the multi-ethnic communities, especially in Malaysia, and instill peace and harmony throughout the world. As I'm present here today in this event, I know that our future generation is with me too. Thus, this message is dedicated to you, the future generation, leader of today and tomorrow. Therefore, I hope this fantabulous speech is powerful enough to encourage and motivate you to play your roles in nation building for the future. As John F. Kennedy once said, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, I end my speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 15, for the S performance.
7 minutes, 10 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 16, to the stage. Contestant number 16, please.
Mental health issues are extremely common among us. The truth is that billions of people around the world are suffering from this mental illness, but the knowledge and awareness regarding this mental illness are limited. Only a very small number of people are aware of this illness. So, the world need to pay fully attention regarding these issues. Good morning, I bid to the honorable judges, teachers, and members of the floor swimming along with me. I am Wafa Izzati, and I'm representing Subis Education District Office to deliver my speech today. On this beautiful day, as you have probably guessed from my introduction, the speech that I'm going to deliver today is about mental health awareness. So, what is mental health? In order to understand what is mental health, it is important to realize first what actually means. Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects our daily life, such as how we think, act, and how we feel. It also determines how we handle problems and make healthy life choices. Based on my perspective, it is important to take care of our mental health. It is just as important as physical health, and people should be aware of the consequences and must give the utmost importance to keep the mind healthy like the way physical body is being kept as well. Some of the more common mental health problems include depression, anxiety disorder, and panic disorders. It can happen due to trauma, loneliness, family issues, financial difficulties. The list is endless. Thus, mental health is very important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. Now, let's talk about stigma and discrimination. These two terms are often associated with mental illness. Stigma is when someone sees you in a negative way because of some particular characteristic, such as cultural backgrounds, disability, or even mental illness. On the other hand, discrimination is when someone treats you in a negative way because of your mental illness. The issues of stigma and discrimination associated with mental illness and seeking treatment among community need to be addressed. According to a study entitled Mental Disorder in Malaysia, it is estimated that only 20% of Malaysians with mental disorders will access professional care, often because of the stigma that is attached to mental health. There are found to be reluctance to ask for help or to get treatment. Untreated mental illness has reached to a crisis point that changed people's thoughts of mental illness being just an ordinary illness, which is not supposed to happen. If someone claims he or she is having a hard time or experiencing depressions, their listener would just answer them with toxic positivity, such as, "Oh, it's just in your mind," or "You should focus on things that you have in hand, thinking it will soon pass." But the reality is, this so-called toxic positivity is this so-called stay positive message can make the situation worse. While such comments are often meant to be sympathetic, they can shut down the other person might want to say what they are experiencing. Hence, I am standing here to spread awareness regarding mental health, believing this issue is not a joke, because it endangers the lives of people who are suffering from this cruel illness. This issue should not be taken lightly. This issue should not be taken lightly. Mental illness could happen to anyone. We don't know who are struggling with their mental health. It could be in our family, somebody who lives next door, or someone who sits in the same class with us. Society can have many stereotype views because of some misunderstanding, and the main one is fear. Mental illness are often mistakenly labeled to be synonymous with dangers, violence, instability, and aggression. This is not how mental illness really look like, yet this is the picture that is painted over and over again. What can we do to help those who are suffering? Most of us would say, go make an appointment with your psychiatrist. I couldn't say this statement is wrong, but what happened to someone who can't make it due to financial problems? Therefore, in my opinion, I would recommend them to approach someone who willing to listen to their problems. It could be someone who close to them and they can rely on, such as their family members and their best friends. In such way, they will definitely feel more comfortable to share their problems and open up about their feelings. All in all, we should put aside our own false belief and simply show empathy to those who are dealing with this mental illness. We, as a part of society, as well as individuals, can see that people with mental disorder that aren't any different than you and I. So isn't it the time for us to stop the stigma? It may just start with a handshake. So I guess it's about time for me to stop right here. It's been a pleasure being with all of you today. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you very much, contestant number 16, for the splendid performance.
6 minutes, 47 seconds.
Everyone, now is a toilet break. You can take 5. Take your time for a short break. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please kindly be seated as our short break has finished and we are going to begin our occasion now. Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 17 to the stage. Contestant number 17, please.
A very good morning to our honorable judges, teachers, timekeepers, and my fellow friends. Ladies and gentlemen, cell phones, mobile phones, and tablets are becoming common almost everywhere in our society. Nowadays, small children probably have a cell phone too. Today, cell phone has become a must-have item for everyone. Even now, if I ask the audience whether they have a cell phone, probably almost all will say yes, right? Well, as for now, this question still excludes the student because students are still prohibited to bring their cell phones to school. However, if the students are allowed to bring their cell phones to school, most probably all will say that they do have a cell phone. But then, is it a good idea for the students to bring their cell phone to school? In every story, there are two sides of contracting ideas. Therefore, I would like to take this opportunity to let the audience know the advantages and disadvantages of allowing students to bring their cell phone to school. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start my speech by stating the first advantage of allowing students to bring their cell phone to school. That is to make communication easier, especially between parents and their children. Cell phone will allow them to communicate with each other at any time. In the past, parents often never knew where their children were until they came home. But with a cell phone, parents can check up on their kids at any time they want. Secondly, cell phone can be an invaluable tools in emergency situation. For instance, if a student is severely injured or there is a crisis situation, cell phone can allow the students to contact authorities or anyone for help. Thirdly, with the technology available, it can help the students to learn more new things. With an easier access to the internet, students are able to search information on the internet easily. However, it could also be the other way around. Some students use the internet to find fun instead of studying. Ladies and gentlemen, now I will focus on the disadvantages of allowing students to bring their cell phones to school. Firstly, it is about theft. With more and more attractive phones available in the market, there are good chances of the cell phone being snatched. This happens because some students might not be able to afford a cell phone. Thus, the only way for them to have it is by stealing it. Students can also make more money by stealing the cell phone and selling it to others. Moreover, students can at times be clumsy when keeping their things, which makes their cell phones get lost easily. The price of a cell phone is not cheap, and when the theft issue arises, it can cause a lot of trouble. Secondly, the cell phone may cause distraction in lessons. Some students that did not shut off their phone and suddenly get a phone call will disturb the lessons in their class. Besides, students, they can also play video games in hiding during the lessons. With so many students in one class, the teachers could overlook these students. This is one of the instances where the students misuse the purpose of a cell phone. Last but not least, using a cell phone at school will hinder the students to study more, as they much more prefer to play video games with their friends than to read books. They only use the privilege given for their own joy only. Thus, the passion of learning for many students is decreasing, and this is bad because study is important in life. If this young generation do not like to study, it will hinder our progress to be more successful in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I have lined out the pros and cons of students bringing their cell phones to school. Now, it is up to us to decide what is the best decision on this issue. Well then, I arrive at the end of my speech, and I would like to thank all for lending your ears. Thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 17, for your performance.
6 minutes, 26 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 18, to the stage. Contestant number 18, please.
Greetings to the honorable judges, teachers, and my fellow friends. Did you know that 80% of school students check their phones every 5 minutes when they are not at school? Hi everyone, my name is Nur Shamimi, and I will be talking about smartphone addiction. I may have an addiction myself, but that doesn't mean I cannot talk about it. Instead, who does it better than me? There are many types of addiction, but in my opinion, smartphone addiction is number 1 among teenagers. I'm sure many of you thinking, that's not me, I'm not addicted now. Now, take a second to think about how many times a day you use your phone or just check your phone. What happens to you when you lost your phone? Are you calm and settled, or do you freak out? There are actually people who have a panic attack if they don't have their phone in their pocket or they can't find it. It's called nomophobia. I've seen this happen in many occasions in our house. But don't feel alone. In fact, 25 million people in China are suspected to be addicted to technology. That is almost 80% of Malaysia's population. What's even more shocking is that our country is in the top 3 of countries with the highest rates of smartphone addiction. This is based on a study by researchers at MCJ University. Smartphone addiction among teenagers is so critical that some parents have to send their kids to boarding schools just to detoxify them of technology. Ladies and gentlemen, the big question is, why are people so addicted? Well, here's my answer. Take social media, for example. Every single time you post a photo, let's say in a matter of 10 seconds you get 4 likes. Well, those 4 likes may be small, but it affects your mind in a huge way. Those 10-second happiness send a message to your brain saying, I want more. So, you post another photo and another photo just to see how many likes you get. As a result, you are spending every 5 minutes of your day checking to see if someone liked your photo. Checking to see if someone liked your photo, even if that someone is from across the world and you've never met them before. That sounds like a pretty big waste. That sounds like a pretty big waste of a day to me. But it's not just kids I'm talking about. It's adults too. It's like people don't talk anymore. Have you ever been to a restaurant and 2 people are on a date, but they don't even look at each other? They are too busy on their devices, talking to someone else, and screenshotting their dinner and sending it to someone that isn't even there. Wow, what a nice date night. Great spending time with you and your phone. It's like we live in a virtual world where we can feel comfortable with the people we love. We are always looking at or thinking about what other people are doing. There is another aspect of this attachment to technology. We don't even talk to each other in the same household. For instance, some families text each other in the same house. Why bother talking when we can? Why bother talking when we can talk? Why bother talking when we can text, right? Like the other day, I wanted to borrow my sister's book. Instead of knocking on her room door, I texted her. We have more important things to do with our time, like go on our smartphone. But there's something seriously wrong with this. I admit it. Oh, hold on a second. Hello, how are you doing? Sure. Oh, sorry, I'm actually a bit busy now. Can I call you back? I'm so sorry about this. Well, this is another common problem today. It's called fobbing. Fobbing is a word used to describe when people pay more attention to their device than the people that are right in front of them. Has that ever happened to you? Last weekend, I went to SARIKEI with my family. My day changed drastically and I was anxious the whole day because I forgot to bring my smartphone. Imagine going somewhere to see most of people around you are on their device talking to someone else on social media or playing video games. It's like we forgot about human connection. It's pretty hard to put your phone down, especially if everyone around you has one. In addition, smartphone seriously takes a toll on our sleep. Most people sleep with their devices next to them. They use them for alarm clocks or sleep apps to help them get to sleep. It is a chronic problem everywhere. Did you know that the blue lights actually affects the release of melatonin in your brain? You need this to tell your brain to rest. That is why some people are so high energy before bed. Having your phone beside your bed has side effects like digital eye strain, increased illnesses, and even car accidents due to lack of sleep. On top of that, people today even drive with their cell phone. They are too busy worrying about what someone has to say on their phone rather than paying attention to the road. Consequently, smartphones are responsible for a lot of car accidents. Here's a quick fact. Did you know that driving 90 kilometers an hour while taking 5 seconds reading a text message is equivalent to traveling a football field blindfolded? Ladies and gentlemen, in a nutshell, many people are struggling with smartphones addiction, and it brings many problems. However, I learned that we really need to be more connecting with each other. One of the best times in my life so far was going camping by the river with my family when I was in primary school. There was no internet connection and no one bothered to check on the smartphones. It was indeed a good memory because today, all of my family members are often busy with work and they are often on their phones even when at home. Therefore, I hope you pay more attention to the little things that make you happy. Enjoy the moments that are right in front of you. As Steve Jobs once said, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your top-notch performance.
7 minutes, 10 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 18, to the stage. Contestant number 18, please. 19, please.
A very wonderful day I bid to the honorable judges, precise timekeepers, and wise audience. No one is immune from addiction. It afflicts people of all ages, races, classes, and professions. This is a famous saying of Patrick J. Kennedy, who is an American politician and mental health activist. Have you heard of nomophobia? Nomophobia actually stands for no mobile phone phobia, and it is used to describe a psychological condition where people have a fear of being detached from mobile connectivity. Addiction to mobile devices has become a commonplace in modern society. Personally, I myself struggled with this perilous addiction too back in the day. Now, the main question is, what are the signs of potential nomophobia in an individual that you too might have experienced? Ladies and gentlemen, now let's take a deeper dive into nomophobia. Undoubtedly, nomophobia occurs due to the absence of face-to-face communications and the excessive use of new technologies. Numerous studies have investigated the negative consequences of the excessive usage of smartphones and nomophobia symptoms. The signs and symptoms that are observed in nomophobia cases include anxiety, respiratory alterations, and disorientation. Several surveys and studies suggested that adolescents aged between 18 and 25 are more prone to having this separation from phone anxiety because they use smartphones more frequently than any other age groups. Excessive usage of smartphones would affect teenagers like me in the worst ways possible. First of all, it is not an unknown fact that uncontrollable usage of smartphones would affect teenagers' academic performance. Playing video games or browsing social media may keep them up late. Restlessness and fatigue can be caused by this. Consequently,
they will not get enough sleep and can't focus on the lessons being taught in class because they are too tired. Furthermore, nomophobes may exhibit symptoms such as addictive behavior, compulsive checking habits, distress, and pressure. While it may seem that losing yourself online will temporarily make feelings such as stress, boredom, or depression evaporate into thin air, it can actually make you feel even worse. For instance, social media apps may lead users to compare themselves to others, increasing their feelings of depression. Additional psychological impacts of smartphone addiction on people's lives include loss of focus and negative personality traits, such as self-absorption. This might result in social isolation, alienation, and economic and financial problems. Fortunately, it is never too late to be what you might have been. Smartphone addiction is easy to acquire. However, is difficult to break. For those who are exhibiting smartphone addiction symptoms, the following tips and strategies on how to break smartphone addiction might help. Most importantly, the first step is recognizing the problem. For example, a smartphone might distract your mood swings caused by stress, anxiety, or pressure. But in reality, reaching for a smartphone may make these mental health issues worse. Instead, try healthier alternatives such as relaxation or stress management techniques. Next, limiting phone usage can be very stressful. But the more a person overcomes the difficulties, the more resilient they become. Relational connection, such as a good talk with a friend, can go a long way in helping you to feel calm, getting others to understand you better, and increasing your resilience. In summary, smartphones exhibit similar traits to Pandora's box, unless we're utilizing it properly. It is indeed a blessed cursed invention to us society, as it brings us many benefits, yet could harm us. Human beings are social creatures. Smartphones help people to interact with friends and meet new people. But when smartphone addiction becomes serious, it can result in a catastrophe. Getting rid of this addiction might be challenging, but it is not impossible. With the support from the loved ones and the effort from oneself, we can overcome this problem over time. And if that does not help, we shouldn't hesitate to solicit professional advice. And always remember that good things take time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 19, for the inspiring performance.
7 minutes, 4 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 20, to the stage. Contestant number 20, please.
Test.
A very good morning to the honorable judges, respected timekeepers, fellow contestants, fellow teachers, and my fellow audience. My name is Randolph Azek Ugas, and I am from SMK Sebuyau. Before I start delivering my topic, let me introduce you just a little bit about my school. So I've come from a rural school which is located in Sebuyau. It takes about 3 hours to come here in SARIKEI from Sebuyau, which involve a use of 2 ferries. So now I'm standing right here because I've won the public speaking competition in Semunjan district. So it is indeed an honor to be given the second chance here to standing in front of you, the audience. It is also give me a great pleasure as I will be delivering you guys on a serious topic which is entitled bullying. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, first of all, what is bullying? Bullying is an aggressive behavior that is intentional and involves an imbalance of power and strength. It's either can be physical, verbal, or emotional. As we know, bullying often happens in our school for many years and even happens at the workplace. Hence, preventing and addressing bullying must require a full commitment to creating a safe environment so that the children can thrive socially and academically without being afraid. Well, there's also other types of bullying, which is cyberbullying. Well, cyberbullying often happens through technologies and social media such as YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. The question is, what are the ways that we can use to addressing this kind of bad behavior from getting prevalent? Firstly, the teachers and school administrators need to be aware of the surrounding. I think we already know that bullying often happens in many areas like bathroom, playground, crowded hallways, school, as well as via cell phones and computers. For example, if a bullying in the classroom is observed, the teachers need to immediately stop it and recording it. Then, later they can inform to the appropriate school administrators or basically principal. Hence, this incident can be solved correctly without any favoritism. Secondly, the students and their parents need to be a part of the solution and must involve in a safety teams and anti-bullying task forces. For example, students can inform to the adults whenever their bullying activities are happening. Their parents also should know what kind of technologies their kids are using now to spread this kind of bad behavior. For example, if a bullying activities are happening in mainly public places like playground or recreational park, the parents must report it to the appropriate authorities so that they can take some necessary actions depend on the situations. Hence, addressing bullying must provide students to be engaged in a positive behavior and teach them some skills so that they will know how to intervene when a bullying occurs. Furthermore, addressing and preventing bullying must require a multifaceted and a sustained approach that involves multiple stakeholders. These include the schools, the families, the community, organizations, law enforcement, and the government agencies. This group of people must be working together to create a comprehensive and integrated response to bullying. For example, the school must organize an anti-bullying campaign. They should remind the students that this kind of bad behavior is not accepted at all, and such behavior will have its own consequences. They either can get punished or can be fined with such appropriate amount of money. Besides, the government also must provide a full support for those who have been affected by the bullies so that they can be protected and not will be harmed again. Last but not least, parents must educate their children about the seriousness of bullying and be more concerned about their children's daily activities. In the conclusion, bullying should never be considered as a part of growing up. It is an abuse of our human rights with far-reaching consequences that could affect themselves, their families, their peers, and the community around them. Children who are victimized or bully the others are at risk for an emotional and behavioral and relationships problem. Therefore, they must require a full support from their adults to help them develop a healthy relationship in school and throughout their life. Parents also need to be aware and be more concerned about the children's daily activities and provide a method of lesson. To sum up with everything, I think we already know that everyone has the rights to feel safe and happy. It is time for all the bullies to understand that their act of behavior is not doing any better, but hurting the others. They should stop for the betterment of a safe and a healthy society. I think that's all that I got for today. I would like to thank all the honorable judges, respected timekeepers, fellow contestants, fellow teachers, and the audience for being willing to listen to my speech and my sharing. I'm also one like to apologize if there are any mistakes that I've made or some grammar error used throughout my speech. I think that's all for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, contestant number 20, for your performance.
6 minutes, 20 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 21, to the stage. Contestant number 21, please.
Imagine if you were left stranded on an island for life, a super secluded one on top of that. Would you be able to live without using your phone all the years? I bet most of us here would be answering no to the question. Why is that? Well, as for me, I simply cannot live without talking to my friends where we discuss about some interesting gossips. Just kidding, back to our topic. I admit that social media has been taking up a lot of space in our daily lives. A jolly good morning to the honorable judges, accurate timekeeper, and respected members of the floor. Today, I would like to elaborate on my speech, Social Media, Pain or Boon. Ladies and gentlemen, social media is a vital part of our lives, and it can be understood in such a way that an average person spends around 2.5 hours on social media per day. Currently, the social media population is taking up over 4 billion people who are active. From Facebook to Instagram, social media also has its roots. Social media is basically a web-based platform that allows people to join, communicate, share their ideas, thoughts, and beliefs with one another. Social networks permit people to stay in touch with others. Their social networks may include buddies, circles of relatives, classmates, and even enterprise associates. To start things off, here are some of the advantages of social media that are considered a boon. First of all, social media provides a lot of information and from many sources. It is through social media that people from rural areas are able to access information. Why is that? Well, the quickness of the internet is the reason behind it. On social media, many news organizations and people share news and data that leads to the spread of information, thus making social media very informative. Apart from that, people often use social media for publicity.
Are there any TikTok influencers here? If so, I would like to change TikTok ID with you after this. It is completely undeniable that social media is a great publicity tool. In fact, best. On social media, people gain fame overnight. It only takes a blink of an eye to make anything go viral and create a storm overnight. Content creators and also celebrities gain fame and good audience because of their works. To show you what I mean, Ranu Mondal, who used to be a beggar, but because of her singing qualities, she became an overnight star. Isn't that amazing? Entertainment is one of the main purposes of why people use social media. Well, who doesn't use social media for entertainment? Am I right? People all across the globe use social media to share photos and videos. Similar to TikTok, Instagram has recently added a feature of Reels that allows people to post short videos, and it has become one of the most loved features. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about the advantages of social media, we must also talk about its disadvantages as well. These cons are somewhere bad and can lead to a disaster, and that's where the pain of social media comes in. The most notable disadvantages of social media is its fake news. Since social media provides a hefty amount of information and from many sources, the information, however, can be useful or can be not. There are also cases that people on social media use it as a weapon to create a storm and spread fake news that leads to many adverse impacts. Besides that, social media is also notorious for cybercrimes. Since social media is as vast as the ocean and has a lot of people getting involved in it, it is truly undeniable that there can also be people who commit crimes as well. Cases of threats, harassing, bullying leads to many cases of cybercrimes on social media. The question is, why does that happen? Social media users are attracted to cybercrimes because of their inherent trust in social media. Since social media provides publicly available information, this allows the cybercriminals to easily identify their vulnerabilities and create a focused attack. With my speech today, it is completely clear that social media has its good as well as bad impacts. We should not overuse it to get in danger, so we won't be exposed to the cybercrimes and be a victim to it. As for me, I stand by that social media is a boon. I know that our opinion always stands in between the line of good and bad. We should always know how much time we spend on it and how to use it in order to not become a victim to cybercrimes. Children and teenagers should be guided by their guardians since they are vulnerable to cybercrimes. With my speech today, I want to thank all of the audience for lending me your ears. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, contestant number 21, for the grand performance.
6 minutes, 40 seconds.
Next, please welcome contestant number 22 to the stage. Contestant number 22, please.
A very good morning to our honorable judges, teachers, timekeepers, and my fellow friends. My name is Muhammad Ikwan Zafran, student of SMK Kubong, and today I would like to deliver my speech entitled Relationship. As everyone might have known, having a relationship is very important in everyone's life. Whether it is to stay happy, share your feelings, feel love, have a connection, or know yourself in a better manner, having a relationship will help a lot. As you grow old, the relationship transforms. Thus, we can define relationship as a bond between two people based on mutual likes, understanding, need, or love. Since birth, humans enter a relationship. Broadly, there are 4 types of relationship: family, friendship, romantic, and acquaintance. Generally, these relationships involve our family members, BFF, life partners and classmates, or colleagues. Now, let me introduce to everyone a thing called TRL, which stands for trust, respect, and love. Ladies and gentlemen, trust is the foundation of any relationship. Every relationship either starts from family or friends. When you trust someone, you believe them to be a person of high character that will do things that are in your best interest. Trust is an important component of any healthy relationship. So, if your relationship lacks trust, then it will be very hard to get close to the other person and rely on them for support. Trust does not happen automatically, however. Instead, it is created gradually, over time, and across a series of interactions. Therefore, if the trust is devoid in the relationship, then the relationship is bound to end or fall. Sometimes we think that trust can be picked up again, but that is not the case. It can be compared with a glass. When a glass is broken, its pieces can be picked up and can be put together once more, but the perfect glass can never be recreated perfectly ever again. This is because of the cracks within the glass that will always remain. Same goes to our hearts and our trust for someone. Mind you, rebuilding trust is the hardest work in life. On the whole, trust should be maintained by each side of a relationship in order for the relationship to work out. Treating others with respect and care not only gains respect for themselves, but also creates a base for a long-term relationship. Respecting each other is the backbone of maintaining any healthy relationship. Listening to your family, friends, partners' feelings and trying to understand their perspective is a crucial way to show respect in a relationship. Disagreeing when giving each other opinions are completely okay. Just do not try to trick them thinking that they are in the wrong. Just because you do not always see eye to eye, it does not mean that one person needs to change their minds in order for the relationship to work. Safeguard your parents, siblings, partners, and friends' feeling as well. It means being mindful of their feelings and avoiding doing things that might really hurt them. This is because both sides need to have respect for each other in order for the relationship to work out. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, let us move on to the main selling point of maintaining or making a successful relationship. The pillar that holds everything together from breaking apart. The pillar, that being love. Love is single-handedly one of the most, if not the most important factor of making or maintaining a healthy and successful relationship. Everyone searches for love in their life, and love is of different types. Each unique relation have its own type of love. Like love in the relationship between a husband and his wife, parents to their kids, friends to their friends, and so much more. However, one thing is for sure: if there is love, there is care. Therefore, having the relationship full of love not only makes the other person happy, but also creates a base, but also strengthen the relationship. When we love someone from the bottom of our heart, we suddenly feel like we are willing to give everything of ourselves instead of asking. Love is also like a bridge that connects one side of a river with another side, as love is the bridge of the hearts. We communicate with others to make a bridge between the differences of our personalities with our loved one. In the end, you might start to wonder on how would this affect us in our daily life. Now, I want everyone here to think back of all the relationships that you have made in your life. Recall on how many of them that you have lost. It is probably quite a lot. So remember, use TRL wisely to build the pillars first that strengthen the relationship. Also, don't forget that relationships are not forever. So try to cherish every single moment of it. My name is Muhammad Ikwan Zafran, and we shall see each other again next time. Farewell and thank you.
Thank you very much for the awe-inspiring performance.
6 minutes, 54 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 23 to the stage. Contestant number 23, please.
Thank you, MC. Good morning, I bid to the honorable judges, loyal timekeepers, respected teachers, ladies and gentlemen. Now, allow me to start my speech with a question. What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life? So you see, you are like this flower. You are beautiful and perfect, and life gives you enough water and sunshine that nurtures you. However, ladies and gentlemen, life can also break you, throw you onto the ground, and step on you. And there you are, hurt and wondering what is the meaning and the purpose of life. Ladies and gentlemen, to me, life itself serves no purpose. Imagine sitting at home and doing nothing, for instance. Life means nothing. However, when you go out and do something, like all of us here today, gathering and competing, life is an opportunity for us to create meaning. Ladies and gentlemen, what does life teach us? Life has taught me to value my time, especially when it comes to spending it with people I love and I care about. Time is gold, ladies and gentlemen, and life gives us so little time to cherish old moments. Let me tell you a story, my own life story. So we all have mothers, right? Raise your hand if you have an amazing mother. Wow. Now, put them all together, and you get my mama. That's how amazing my mama is. So, my mama, she was a lecturer. However, I have never lived with her. I never did. I was adopted when I was 5 days old by, surprise, surprise, I was adopted by her own brother. As a kid, I always wondered, why don't I visit my biological parents more often? I always wanted to ask my dad, the brother, but I was scared. God is the best planner of all. One day, my mama got really sick. So I asked my dad, Dad, can I stay over at mama's house and take care of her? To my surprise, he allowed me. So it was me, my mama, my papa, and my siblings. Long story short, I didn't even stay there, not even for a night. It was a blink of an eye, and poof. Suddenly, I was at the hospital. I knew and I realized that for an actual fact, my mama was dying. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very, very lucky as an adopted child who don't live with his biological parents. I am the last family member to be able to have conversations with my mother when she still had her consciousness. Long conversations, 3 hours more. There's something that I will never ever forget. My mom said to me, be brave to face the reality. Honestly, that was well expected. And then she asked me, shortly right after, lying on her deathbed. Listen up very carefully. She asked me, son, do you want an ice cream? I burst out laughing at that question because that was so unexpected. Can you imagine a person lying on her deathbed asking you such question? If that was not a lovely mother who cared and loves her children, I don't know what is. Life teaches us the value of perseverance. It confronts us with challenges, it tests our resolve and pushes us beyond our limits. It is in these difficult times that we discover our true strength. We learn to pick ourselves up when we stumble and embrace setbacks as opportunities for growth. Life also teaches us to accept changes. Like Forrest Gump once said, life was like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. So instead of complaining about what you have in life, ladies and gentlemen, do improvise. Life also taught me that life is fair. Cliche, I know. But I believe in that. It took something away from me and blessed me with so much more. Yes, my mom passed away, leaving a big, big hole in my life. God, in return, however, blessed me with amazing family members, top-tier best of friends, and supportive teachers. And honestly, I couldn't ask for more. And to me, that's enough. And to me, that's fair. Life teaches us that success is not merely the absence of failure. What success really is the ability to rise again after each fall. Sometimes whenever you see a happy, confident, and successful person and you say, what a lucky man. Luck. Are you sure it's luck? What we don't see is his struggles, his setbacks, and what he has been through. So if you believe you've put in enough effort, your time for success will come eventually. Have faith and don't you ever give up. In conclusion, my dear friends, at least for me, I believe that life is fair. that life is the best teacher. It teaches me through first-hand experience rather than by learning theories. It molds us into the individuals we are today and we are meant to become. So let's embrace this remarkable teacher, open our heart and minds to its teaching, and embark on a lifelong journey of learning, growth, and self-discovery. You only live once. Make the most out of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 23, for your applaudable performance.
7 minutes, 43 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 24, to the stage. Contestant number 24, please.
Let all that you done be in love, says 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 14. Truthfully, do we stand on this short verse in our lives? Do you agree with this verse? Yet to think about it first, but love isn't all about romantic relationships. There is one type of love that I will talk about today, philautia. Derived from the Greek word, it implies the meaning of self-love, where you think positively about yourself, see the values in yourself, and cherish your entire being. Love is something that we have no control over, yet it means so much in our lives, particularly to ourselves. Fellow sweethearts, philautia is something that we can implant within ourselves. No one can love you more than yourself, isn't that so? It's only you who truly understands and knows your needs better than any other person. Have you ever heard the famous phrase, "It's okay to be not okay"? Our hearts and psyches cannot bear all of the burdens like anger, frustration, and sadness alone. It's okay to be fragile and sob your heart out while watching that one melancholy movie, because the cloud rains when it's heavy too. You may want to show others that you are strong, but you have to mean it instead of pretending to be okay. You cannot find true, everlasting love and happiness without figuring how to love yourself first. As for me, I love people, but I've never thought about loving myself. I will want to receive love from others, but somehow, deep down inside, I am confused with myself. Am I loved? Do I cherish myself? This constant crazy thrill rise of emotions had made me think that maybe I didn't deserve love and others needed me to give them my affection, because people need love to survive in this unmerciful world. How am I going to give out love to others when I, at the end of the day, just an empty bottle with no feelings inside? I keep on pouring love into other people's bottles, but somehow no one is pouring theirs into mine. However, I saw nothing. This kind of situation has made people develop a fear of love. They're lost and cannot find their own identity through philautia, which also means that it is hard for them to find genuine love inside the foreign hearts of others. It may hurt you in any way. You cannot always be a people pleaser. It's a tough job. Speaking from experience, the burnouts and stress that I endured during those periods of me being a people pleaser definitely weren't worth a penny. So, whenever you say yes to others, make sure your heart is not saying no. Your heart is yours too. No one should control your feelings and emotions as you are making progress to embrace yourself. It will slowly break you down again and leave you empty with nothing. Members on the floor, we have to be honest with our feelings. Only then can we accept and manage them. Some people tend to ignore these negative feelings, believing they'll go away. It's anything but a savage choice by humankind, and this is definitely not true. The more you push your emotions and let them tangle in the dark corner of your mind, the harder it is for you to endure your life, as you're only ignoring, not forgetting. So instead of ignoring them, we have to confront our emotions, show that we are strong enough to get those feelings away. There is one thing that I can recommend to you, that is to share your hardened problems or emotions to your trusted ones. It's okay for them not to solve it. At least the dark weight will be lifted from your heart. For those of you who don't love talking to others, keeping a small journal or doing therapeutic activities may help to calm yourself down in order to deal with your emotions. Remember, dare to confront rather than being a weakling towards yourself. My time is ticking away as I sum up my messages to you. Accept your emotions, embrace who you really are, and empower your strengths. This once little girl that is standing right in front of you might not give out the ideal words, but I truly do trust my words can inspire every heart that is thumping right in front of me. Our Philadelphia talk might have to end here today. My appreciation to you for generously lending your headspace for this talk. May the stage drop the curtains as my inks are finishing here. Bless your hearts and thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 24, for the splendid performance.
8 minutes, 3 seconds.
Now, please welcome our next contestant, contestant number 25, to the stage. Contestant number 25, please.
Okay, thanks. Some find it in the face of their children. Some find it in their lover's eye. Who can deny the joy it brings when you've found that special thing? You're flying without wings. How can someone fly without wings? You must be wondering, aren't you? But first, let me greet a very good morning to honorable judges, esteemed timekeeper, my worthy opponent, and members of the floor. Today, I will be speaking to all of you about love. Ladies and gentlemen, now the answer to my previous question is LOVE. Love. This simple word can make you fly without wings, as it is the greatest gift from the Creator for all human beings. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, love is a strong affection for one another, arising out of kinship or personal ties. The famous Mahatma Gandhi stated that where there is love, there is life. As for me, love is something you can truly feel. Love is not about getting, it is about giving. Love is not static, it grows and it spreads. It keeps people away from making bad, miserable things in life. Members of the floor, what would happen if love does not exist in this world? I believe that our world is reduced to meaningless drudgery, misunderstandings, and emptiness. Let's start with families. The absence of love will have negative effect on family. This will result in a broken family. Individuals who live in a broken family are often unable to form a strong relationship that are supportive and caring. This leads to problems such as depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. To add, it will also affect how the children learn and develop. They are less likely to achieve their goals and aspirations. Next, let's talk about the absence of love in our society. Lack of love robs us of community among our neighbors and frustrates our desire for peace in this world. When I think of a society without love, I see the world filled with the negative, hate, racism, terrorism, and even war. A society without love, lacking care and compassion, would be like an aggressive video game in which everyone loses. We live in a broken society, and it is evident by the number of men, both young and old, lost to violence, babies born to single and teen mothers, and more. The use of drugs and alcohol has become normal, and the value of life is lessened with every other generation. Totally bizarre. Ladies and gentlemen, since I am an optimist, I have faith that love can change the world. How can love change the world? Well, love can change the world. Not the romantic, head over heels kind of love, but selfless love. Selfless love is giving of yourself, your time, and your resources for the benefits of others. It is caring about others' quality of life and helping those in need. Changing the world will happen by showing people around us our love. What makes us human is our capacity to love. With love, families and society will erase prejudice and learn to forgive, gain peace of mind in a turbulent world, and keep sane. We will start having compassion and live selflessly with proper concern towards everyone. We learn to care about those who suffer or in hardship by sharing the blessings that we have in life. Hatred will cease. Racism and war will no longer have the power on us. All of this under the power of L-O-V-E, love. Members of the floor, what can we do to positively influence our community and people around us to practice love? Initially, as a teenager, I am going to speak from a teenage point of view. Initially, it is vital for me to open my eyes and ears to understand the needs of others. It is easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life and to overlook the need for help that's all around us. However, when we open our eyes and focus our minds on love and empathy, we can see opportunities to make an impact in someone else's life. Personally, I always make myself available to help my family and friends whenever they need help. I make sure I be there with them in good times and bad times. I do this when they cry, I wipe their tears, and when they are in joy, I cherish the moment with them. I do this because I love them, and I know deeply they will do the same for me. Secondly, I vow to show and share love as my lifestyle by practicing daily kindness. Daily kindness begins with a smile. As you encounter others, put on a smile and say hello. We will never know the struggles that a specific person is going through, and something as small as a smile can change someone's outlook. Saying thank you is another way to practice daily kindness. For example, practice saying thank you to canteen workers, school security guards, and cleaners, as they are often unseen by the people. This act of kindness will brighten their day, as it can make big difference in their lives. Ladies and gentlemen, my speech has come to its end, but allow me to leave you with something for you to remember. Mother Teresa once said, "Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier." Love is the strongest force. It is far more greater than hate. Start practicing love in your family. Show love in your community. In fact, I'm going to start right now by saying, "I love you." With this, I end my speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 25, for the remarkable performance.
7 minutes, 23 seconds.
The last contestant for prepared speech marks the end of our section 1 today. We are going to take an afternoon break to give time for prayer, for lunch, and to our honorable judges to calculate the marks for section 1. On behalf of our organizing team, I would like to invite our honorable judges to get lunch as guided by our ushers. Before we have our afternoon break, here is an important announcement and reminder to all of the contestants. For section 2 impromptu speech, all of the contestants are required to go straight to the quarantine room, which is Bilik Mesyuarat Utama at 1:30 p.m. Please be reminded that no mobile phones are allowed in the quarantine room. For the teachers, please return to this venue at 1:30 p.m. without the contestants. Your cooperation is very much appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, you may now be dispersed and you can leave for prayer and lunch. See you on section 2 impromptu speech at 1:30 p.m. Thank you very much for your time.